My boyfriend is an air traffic controller, and so with that, I've seen firsthand exactly how short-staffed and overworked air traffic controllers are. So let's talk about the crash in DC. If you've been following the news at all, you should be well aware that a certain Cheeto was very quick to blame minorities and DEI. So let's be clear, that is not the problem here. The problem is not diversity hires, but is instead a system that has been neglected for years and forced many air traffic controllers across the nation into 6-day work weeks and mandatory overtime. Since being in office, Trump placed a hiring freeze on all federal employees, and even though there are certain exemptions from this is still going to affect the FAA, which has already been experiencing staffing shortages for years. And to top it off, apparently the head of the FAA resigned just a couple days before the crash because allegedly they received pressure from another certain somebody into stepping down. So how do you think the FAA is going to be affected by that at a critical time like this? The details of the crash are still being uncovered, but we do know that the Black Hawk was warned 2 minutes in advance of the approaching plane, and the air traffic controller also asked them if they had visuals on the plane, which for the record is a standard practice. Note that the air traffic controller at the time was not just doing their own job, but the job of 2 air traffic controllers. Circling back to the staffing shortages that I mentioned earlier. This really is a tragedy, and my heart goes out to the families of those that were lost in the crash. This also might be a scary time for a lot of people to fly, but just know that there are air traffic controllers like my boyfriend that are out there working overtime just to keep us safe. And so at a time like this, let's not blame DEI, but let's support our air traffic controllers because they deserve better.